Welcome to the Morton Matchday programme. Coming up on a packed show this week, we'll be talking to Ian Murray ahead of a huge weekend in the Championship season and the game against Queen's Park. There's news of a brilliant crime-fighting initiative taking place pre-match on Sinclair Street. We'll be asking Ali Crawford to construct his perfect footballer from the attributes of his teammates. Our pre-match player interview is with Captain Grant Gillespie, and we'll be looking back to our last home encounter with the Spiders. First up though, manager Ian Murray has called for a passionate support this weekend for what he has called a huge match against Queen's Park. Here's the gaffer.
Ian, tomorrow is obviously the penultimate home match of the season, and I know you spoke last week about just how important this game is. The main focus is obviously on ourselves, but how much does it play on the mind that should we win tomorrow and results elsewhere go away, that it could confirm safety?
Yeah, definitely. That's the reality of tomorrow's game. We have to be mindful of that, of course, but ultimately we can only look after what happens out there come 3 o'clock. So we have to put all our energy into that 90 plus minutes. Make sure that we do our job. And then after the game, we see what happens. You know, as I say, there's not a lot we can do about anything else but look after ourselves.
Yeah, I'm looking at the match tomorrow against Queen's Park. They've obviously had a bit of an upturn in form over the last month or so. They get beat midweek, but still a challenge tomorrow. Yeah,
Sean and Jim have done a fantastic job in there. I've been really impressed, especially since January. How well they've rallied. They lose, a very good striker, and I think at that point people thought that was maybe a mistake. But when you're getting offered decent money at this level, you've got to kind of take it. And Sean and Jim will be delighted with the way that the players have stood up to the mark. They've really rallied. Some fantastic results, got themselves in a really good position. So full credit to them both.
Of course, we saw last time out against Queen's Park at home that late winner from Michael O'Halloran. Last time out away from home, it was another tight encounter, and unfortunately it was a defeat, but you expecting much of the same tomorrow? Yeah,
definitely. I know obviously Queen's Park lost on Tuesday evening, but I watched the game and Rafe Rovers are excellent in that game. Really tough night for Queen's Park, but we've all been there. We had it against Rafe on the Saturday previous, so he'll dust his players down. They'll be ready for the game. As I say, their upturn in fortune since January has been very impressive. They've got some really good individual players. They're a good team as a unit as well, so we expect a really tough encounter tomorrow. We need to be on it like we have to be in this league every single week. We know if we drop our standards, then what can happen to us.
And just touching on last week's match, having had the week now to have a look back at it, what have been some of your main takeaways from that match, and what reaction are you hoping to see from the boys?
Yeah, I think, as I said to you before, Gareth, you always get me on that raw emotion after a game, half an hour, 40 minutes where you've not quite had time and opportunity to look at certain things back that you're maybe unsure about, but I still stand by most of what I said. I didn't feel we got to the levels that we can do, and that was disappointing. I thought Rafe deserved to win the game. I thought they were very good. They've had an upturn themselves in the last few weeks, so sometimes you have to acknowledge the opposition. It's not just all about you every single week. You have to say sometimes when you've not quite got to the standards, or the other team haven't let you get to the standards, and that was certainly the case last Saturday, I felt. And then you look back and you think, well, you go 1-0 up, you then equalise to go 2-2, and you very nearly snatch a draw in the last seconds, albeit I did think that wouldn't have been deserved. That's still what happened in the game. So just fine tuning these moments in games. The goals we've been letting in, and particularly in the last 2 weeks, have been a wee bit sloppy from us, been a wee bit soft from us. Not something you really want to say about your team, but again, you have to be honest and be real in the moment, in the situation. So it's something we want to be better at going forward. We want to be better at it starting tomorrow afternoon come 3 o'clock. The players previously have done really well. Their work rate and attitude towards training and games is never in doubt. They've been excellent on that side of it. We always want to get more quality into the team and out of the squad, but that's the hardest part of football. And they're ready for tomorrow. They understand the magnitude of the game as well. We train hard every single week. We're professionals. We have that pride in how we go about our business. Tomorrow's no different.
And your approach this week, has anything changed at all?
Well, we've been very fortunate this week. Without giving too much, we've been able to train on the pitch a couple of sessions, so we thank Adam for that. It's made a real difference to our intensity, getting the guys onto the grass rather than the AstroTurf. It has made a difference. I think we could see that in the sessions that we were getting out the players and how happy the players were to get on the grass as well. So these small things do make a little bit of a difference as you go through the week. So really, really happy with that. Players will be ready. As I say, that's one thing they'll always be, is they'll be ready for the game. We just don't know the outcome yet, but their attitude and their work rate, like I say, they don't let themselves down or the club down in any way whatsoever on that front. But we just need to brush up a little bit, do the basics, do the fundamentals, and hopefully get 3 points.
And I know we maybe touch on this most weeks, but with the nature of where we are in the season now and 3 games to go, has the message to the players changed this week?
No, not at all. It's not changed in the last 3 or 4 weeks. We've kind of been in this situation. We would go down to Somerset, for example. The league was probably a bit tighter than it is right now, but it can flip very, very quickly. We've seen that with our own fortunes. 1 week we're sitting 5th, and then the next week we're down in 8th. So it's been flipping about that for a wee while now. And you try to sometimes put yourself in the other team's position as well. It's a big week, not just for us, but it's a big weekend for Airdrie and Ross County as well. It's a huge weekend of fixtures. We're in the driving seat of that mini league at the moment. We want to continue to do that. We want to put it to bed tomorrow. There's no doubt about it. We can't deny that. But as I said at the start of the interview, we can only look after ourselves. If we go and do the business and we play well and we win well, we come off the pitch and we see what happens.
And with 2 of the last 3 games coming at home as well, how much are you really hoping to try and play in that home advantage? Absolutely.
Our home form's been decent enough. It's not been perfect. We've lost a couple of games, but I think our performances in all our home games have been fairly decent. Our record's okay. We know this is a tough place to come. It always has been. It probably always will be. The pitch, we like the pitch. It suits us. It's tight. Players seem to prefer being here in their home environment, and we have to use every single bit of that to our advantage tomorrow.
And how's the squad shaping up for tomorrow?
Yeah, much the same. Obviously, Cammie's been out now for a couple of weeks since Arbroath, which is disappointing because I felt before that we were just starting to get into a really good groove in midfield. I know Gills had been suspended, but we're getting we had Gills, we had Cammie and Shug. They were just starting to play that triangle in the midfield really, really well. We knew Cammie Blues had to come in, and then it all changes. Gills gets suspended, and Cammie unfortunately gets injured. So that's disappointing. I think we've missed Cammie. He's a really, really good player. I really like him. It's just injuries have set him back a little bit. Eamon's still another one we've been missing now for a number of weeks. Unfortunately, we'd love to bandage them up and get them out on the pitch, but unfortunately we've not been able to call on them at the moment. Just get them back fit as quick as we can. But apart from that, we're pretty much in the same shape as we were.
And just finally, what would be your final message to supporters ahead of this match?
Yeah, as always, they've been fantastic to us. I can only talk about the time since I've been here. They've been absolutely superb to us, even in defeat. When they know the players are giving everything. We need the full backing again. There's no question about that. We're all here for one common cause, and that is to win football games and make this club successful. We can't do that on our own. The supporters can't do it on their own. We have to work hand in hand. We need to always stick together, always be on the same page, and hopefully we bring great success together.
Thanks to the gaffer there. Good luck on Saturday. Now, coming up very shortly, we'll be telling you about Morton and the community's Boots and Pieces drive. But before that, there's going to be a massive initiative out here on Sinclair Street on Saturday between Crime Stoppers group Fearless and Police Scotland. To hear a little bit more about it, we invited a couple of members from the campaign down to Capello.
So Fearless is part of Crime Stoppers, which is an independent charity. Fearless for me is all about helping young people to understand how they can stay safe from crime, how they can make good choices, but also importantly it gives them a safe place to be able to report crime 100% anonymously. So they go to fearless.org, our website, they click Give Info, and they can tell us what they know about crime in their community without ever fearing anyone will ever find out that information came from them. We don't track their IP address, no contact details, nothing like that. They will remain 100% anonymous always. So over the past 10 years I've worked at the charity, and in that time Fearless has grown and grown and grown, because just like adults, they're frightened sometimes reporting crime too. They can see crime in their community, they can see issues and problems amongst their friends where their friends are getting harmed or things aren't going well in their community, and they want to do something about it. They want to do something and be able to say something and make it stop, but sometimes they're frightened to be able to do that. So Fearless gives them that safe place to be able to speak up 100% anonymously and feel like they are doing something really positive for their community and stopping the harm that maybe they're seeing around them. So my message to young people is, we know you're brilliant, we know you want to have fun in your community, and Fearless gives you a way to be able to do that. It helps you be a good pal to your friends, and it helps you live in a community that you want to be in and one that you can be proud of. But I think my message to adults as well is, our young people are magic, they're really good, they deserve to grow up in a safe place. Tell your young people that Fearless exists. Let them know that they can come to our website and give us that information without ever worrying about being a grass or being harmed as a result of it. It's really important that everyone knows that our charity is there for them. They can go to our website, fearless.org, report what they know 24/7, 365. All that information is treated and absolutely anonymously. No one will ever know the information came from them, but it will make Inverclyde safer for everyone. So we're really looking forward to coming to Greenock on Saturday, seeing the game, seeing all the fans, and letting them know that Fearless is there to support them and help make Inverclyde and the wider community as safe as it possibly can be. On the day, on match day, you will get to see myself, a couple of my staff, and PSYV are supporting us as well, Police Scotland Youth Volunteers. So we'll all be on hand to answer questions about Fearless, tell you more information about what we do, and we're looking forward to the game.
So I'm PC Craig Gervais. I work at Greenock Police Office as part of the local problem solving team. We are based in the Inverclyde community to try and make your community safer and be responsive to any problems that those communities may have. We're working with Greenock Morton and the Fearless campaign today as part of an anti-knife campaign. Today's match is also an opportunity to support this important campaign that takes place across Renfrewshire and Inverclyde throughout April. Fearless offers young people a safe and completely anonymous way to share information about crime or their concerns in their community. Just as importantly, it also provides clear, non-judgmental information to help young people make positive choices and understand the risks around violence, exploitation and carrying weapons. This campaign is about prevention, education and conversation. We want young people, parents, carers and the wider community to know that violent crime can have serious life-changing consequences. By working together with partners, schools and local communities, we can help deliver that message and support safer communities for everyone. Fans attending at the stadium will see some younger faces amongst our teams as the Police Scotland Youth Volunteers, PSYV, will also be working alongside key safety partners. By discussing the life-changing impacts of violence and knife possession, the volunteers aim to foster an environment they can feel safe to live in. The presence of PSYV isn't just about support, it's about connection with the young supporters at the match. Having young people speak directly to their peers about the realities of violent crime is a powerful tool in changing the mindset and keeping our communities safe. We'd encourage anyone who wants to find out more to speak to the teams outside the stadium and to look for further information shared through local schools and community channels during April and onwards.
This Saturday against Queen's Park will be a Boots and Pieces day.
There will be a collection of pre-loved sports kit on Sinclair Street before the match.
If you have any boots, kit or trainers to spare or donate, can you please bring them along to Capel?
Adults and kid sizes are needed.
Thanks for supporting Boots and Pieces and Morton in the community.
Thank you.
Fantastic initiatives there from both Morton in the community and Fearless. Please feel free to get involved on Saturday. Now, if Ali Crawford was to construct the perfect footballer from his teammates, how would he go about it? He spoke to Gareth.
Can I say myself? I'd say I've got to be up there, Nath, Mikey, Kills, I'll go myself. Passing, can't say myself again. Goals technically, I'd say goals. I wouldn't say there was a standout, but I'd probably go with one of the strikers, Eamon. We'll go with Eamon. Dribbling, there's a few, Michael O'Halloran, Moff, but I'll go with Michael Garrity. I think that's his expertise. He loves, if he could go down the pitch with his mates sitting aside, he would love that, so I'll go Mikey. I think it needs to be one of the defenders, Jacko, Fergus, because he's height, but I'll go with Jacko. Left foot, I'll go Nathan Shaw. It's very good. Right foot, there's a few, Aaron Lyle, Mikey Garrity, Cammy McPherson. I'll go Cammy McPherson. Pace, I can't say myself here, obviously. I think it's between Zach Mackay, Michael O'Halloran. I'd probably go with Zach Mackay just. Strength, I think this one's pretty obvious. Curtis Main. He's a bit of a man mountain. If I stood behind him, you probably wouldn't see me. So yeah, that's a fairly easy one. Football IQ, I would say it's a very limited one you could choose from in this category. Gills, Shug, because I've said Gills, I'll go Ian Wilson. Overall defending, Cammy Ballantyne, Jacko, Aaron Comrie. I'll go Aaron Comrie. Work rate, that's a pretty easy one as well. Whether it's in defence, midfield, or even a brief spell up front. And we've seen the last couple of weeks, Ian Wilson. He's always top of the the running stats at the end of the game, so Ian Wilson.
Thanks to everybody who's contributed to this week's show, and thanks to you, as always, for tuning in. We go out tonight with that late drama against Queen's Park from the last time at Capello and the interview with club captain Grant Gillespie. Remember, the manager has said this is a huge weekend for Greenock Morton Football Club. So please, get yourself down here and support the boys.
Gills, I suppose, just starting off, how have the boys reacted following last week's match?
Obviously we're disappointed after Saturday. We know the performance wasn't good enough, the result wasn't good enough, so obviously we came in Monday, kind of went over it, and the boys have trained well this week. We've been out in the grass a couple of times, getting used to it before Saturday, so the reaction's been good. Hard work through the week, so we're looking forward to Saturday. Yeah,
you mentioned they've obviously been out in the grass a couple of times this week. How much has that helped with preparation this week? Yeah,
obviously we've not been on the grass for a couple of weeks now, so it's important that obviously we get used to it again a wee bit. Training's been good, it's been sharp, boys are looking lively, so I'm confident that we can go out and we can certainly put on a better performance than we did last week.
In Queen's Park tomorrow, what sort of challenge are you expecting from this one?
It'll be a tough game. 3 games this season against them, we've been tight and been competitive, and I expect no less tomorrow. Obviously they've been on a good run of form. They didn't start the season too well, but they went on a good run, picked up valuable points for them. Obviously coming off the back of a defeat in Tuesday night against Rafe, they'll be looking to bounce back. So it's important that we start well. Obviously we need to just focus on ourselves, but we need to respect the opposition. I'm expecting a tough game.
And of course, at this stage of the season, with 3 games to go now, and you see how tight the table is, picking up 3 points tomorrow, I don't think you can really say just how big it would be with it.
No, it'll be massive. We know that as a group. We know how important the 3 points will be. It won't be easy. Like I said, Queen's Park are a tough team on a good run of form, so it's important that regardless how the performance goes, 3 points is all that matters.
Yeah, and I suppose whilst you don't want to look too far ahead after this game, but should you pick up the 3 points tomorrow, of course the final 2 games of the season are the teams that are still round about you.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, if we do pick up the 3 points tomorrow and results go away, then mathematically, I think that's us pretty much safe. So that's all the incentive that we need. But also, we just need to focus on ourselves. We can't control what happens elsewhere. So the only thing that we can control is the 90 minutes tomorrow. And that's by putting on a good performance and hopefully coming away with 3 points.
And I know the gaffer spoke about it following last week's match about just the importance of tomorrow. How much of an impact are the fans really going to make tomorrow as well? Yeah,
it'll be massive. Obviously, this season's probably not gone as well as we expected, or we certainly wanted. And I feel for the fans at times because we've probably put on performances that have justified maybe 3 points that we haven't got, and we've maybe put in performances that haven't been anywhere near the standard. So I feel for them, but they turn out in their numbers every week, home and away. So I'm hoping that we can turn up in good numbers tomorrow and support the boys.